So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Namaskar to all of you. Thank you for welcoming us. We are going to start the presentation, and so I'm there to introduce this presentation. We are there to tell you a love story. The love story between Saint-Tropez town, south of France, and India. And what is the best to tell a love story except Indian cinema? I think it is the reason why we are there, to speak of this love story and to speak of Indian cinema. So I am Frédéric Allard, Deputy Mayor. I am there with Giraud, first Deputy Mayor of the town of Saint-Tropez, and my respected father, former Deputy Mayor of Saint-Tropez. And we have come from far to tell you that we are most than, we have the great willingness to develop Indian film shooting in our place of Saint-Tropez because we are Indian lovers in Saint-Tropez. Why are we Indian lovers in Saint-Tropez? It is because we have a long common history, even if we are a very small town, with India. And
we'll tell you the story later on.
Yeah, even my family is part of this love story from the early 19th century. And we will speak a little bit about that after. And we have taken the commitment to highlight Indian culture in France, in our town. And so it is the reason why we want to, with the support of the Indian ambassador in Paris, to start a permanent Indian festival celebrating the Indian culture, opening a large window to the Indian cinema. And at this occasion, we would like absolutely to thank a lot your Honorable Minister, Anurag Thakur, who came to visit us in Saint-Tropez in May, and who has inspired to us this idea of festival. We want also to thank a lot NFDC for their large and very kind support. In particular, Lina Monica, the director of NFDC, and the Indian Embassy again, and you to be present there, because for this idea of cultural festival, we need Indian people to come and to be convinced of the interest. So if George is stopping randoming everywhere,
not randoming, just distributing the brochures.
Okay.
Okay. So nice to meet you. Very happy to be in Goa, to be in India. The first time for me in India, and I'm seduced. Really, I've only seen Goa for 3 days, but it's impressive to me. So I am George Giraud, the first Deputy Mayor of Saint-Tropez. We are really interested in developing relationship between India and France. We have already started a few years ago because we have had for a long time in history relationship with India, and this is a small document, a short document to show you. So I don't know, do any of you know Saint-Tropez, south of France? How does it work? So we're going to talk about history and links with India. So as you can see, Saint-Tropez, this is the harbor of Saint-Tropez. It's a very touristical place in France. Thousands of people come to Saint-Tropez, a village of 4,000 inhabitants, and per day in high season we may receive every day up to 100,000 people a day. People coming, passing, licking ice creams, and going back to their campsite. Excuse me, back. Well, anyway, Saint-Tropez has always been a city which activity was turned towards the sea. And it was one of the only harbors between Nice and Marseille, one harbor between the two. So harbor to make trade all along the coast of the Med Sea. And also the people from Saint-Tropez went away in what we called in the 16th, 17th century, 18th, la caravane, les îles du Levant, la caravane, les échelles du Levant, Highland Skates, I don't know what you call that in English. And among the people who in history made that Saint-Tropez had a link with India is General, is to start with Pierre-André de Suffren. Pierre-André de Suffren was an admiral in the navy of Louis XVI. You know, the king that was beheaded. Do you know that in France? At that time, they beheaded one king and they made a revolution. So Pierre-André de Suffren was an admiral. He went to India during the 7 years, la guerre de 7 ans, the 7 Years' War. It's a war in Europe, but which extended between French and English to India. And he, the admiral, defeated the English at Trincomalee, at Gondelur, at I don't know where, I don't remember exactly. He met Hyder Ali, you know Hyder Ali, and Tipu Sahib. He met Hyder Ali and Tipu Sahib, and he was greatly felicitated for defeating the British. This is one link with India. And moreover, Suffren, the admiral, on board his ships, always engaged dozens of people from Saint-Tropez. His sailors came from Saint-Tropez. And this is told over the generations. And we still tell this story among us in Saint-Tropez. People from Saint-Tropez, your grandfather was with Suffren to India, to the War of Independence of the United States in 1776, etc. This is one point. A second one is General Allard. General Allard, here you have two descendants of General Allard, Frédéric, his ancestor, and Henri. Come over here, Henri, please. Henri is one of his ancestor was General Allard. So what did General Allard do? General Allard was a soldier during the Napoleonic Wars with Napoleon. You know Napoleon? When Napoleon, that's it. Good for you, madam. Thank you. When Napoleon finished, was defeated, General Allard, not knowing what to do, went to India. I make it short because the story is longer. Went to India and met Maharaja Ranjit Singh. Met Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and he formed the army of Ranjit Singh according to European standard, okay? And he fought the English and defeated the English, but I'm stopping here. We tell you the story later on. So these are two reasons why Saint-Tropez and India are committed, in a way. We have links together.
Okay, yeah. If you permit me, on the other view, you could see one statue of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, which is certainly the only statue of Maharaja Ranjit Singh in Europe. It was given to us by the government of Punjab in 2016, and we are very proud of that, because, again, we are the unique place in Europe having this type of India Maharaja as a statue.
This is in Saint-Tropez, not too far from Mr. Allard's properties. Well, Saint-Tropez is a shooting destination. Saint-Tropez has always been a shooting destination. Since the beginning, they have made films in Saint-Tropez, just as in Hollywood. Why did they start shooting films in Hollywood? Because of the sun, because there is sun. At that time, there were no spotlights like this. They had to work with sun. In Saint-Tropez, on the Med Sea, there is as much sun as in California. So ever since, from the beginning, even during the era of silent movies, they made films in Saint-Tropez. And it continued on and on. American, Italian, French, etc. Filmmakers went to Saint-Tropez. But very few or no Indian filmmakers. That's why we're here, in a way. I don't know. Have you heard of Brigitte Bardot, a film actress? One of major film was "And God Created Woman." Do you know that movie? God Created Woman in 1956, and this launched the career of Brigitte Bardot. But not only her, Alain Delon. You know Alain Delon? Yeah, Romy Schneider, I don't know if you know. Anyway, many French actors and international actors came to Saint-Tropez. And many series were shot in Saint-Tropez. The series called Saint-Tropez, and the series Emily in Paris. Maybe you know that one, Emily in Paris, well, we can discuss the artistic level of Emily in Paris. Anyway, it was seen all over the world, and some episodes were shot in Saint-Tropez. The list is not exhaustive. It's just to show you that many, many people went to Saint-Tropez to make films. No Indian filmmakers. Why not? This is our purpose. So pictures from, you see on top here, Saint-Tropez in 56. At the bottom, Saint-Tropez to today. It has not changed a lot, you see? From here to here, you can recognize it has not changed so much. This is Brigitte Bardot. You know her? You recognize her? One of the most beautiful ladies in the world. She is still alive, and she lives in Saint-Tropez. She has always lived here. Yeah. So other films. I don't know if you know the series of Les Gendarmes. Gendarmes in Saint-Tropez. You know that? Do you know Louis de Funès? I don't know if he's famous in India. Well, many movies. Saint-Tropez, a series broadcast in more than 120 countries. The title is Saint-Tropez in English. 450 and 80 episodes. Emily in Paris. Emily in Paris. That's her. Okay. Well, some major actors, I don't know if you know them. You know David Niven, a British actor? Just over Brigitte Bardot, Jean Gabin, etc., etc. So we came here to tell you that if so many artists from all over the world came to Saint-Tropez to make films, why should Indian filmmakers would not? Well, my sentence is too complicated. I mean, Indian filmmakers should come to Saint-Tropez to make films because people from all over the world came. So Indians should came as well. So I gave you this document, which is a bit technical to explain the support, refund, the rebates, etc. that you could have.
Yeah. If you permit me, just one point. It was discussed just before, but as it happens in France, there is this 30% tax rebates, which is existing, and even going to 40%. We are not specialists because, as you could notice, we are not from the cinema. But being deputy mayors of Saint-Tropez, we are taking the commitment, except of this tax rebate, which is coming from the French government, to help in any sense as we can for logistic aspect, for facilitation. I mean, to shoot films, to have access to a beautiful location, to find local people to come for free in the film and things like that. So we are very ready and very motivated. As you can see, we are 3 coming here from far to tell that. And it is to prove our strong willingness. And also, we have so nice relationships with you Indian people. And it's not to please you, it is the truth. Each time we come here, we feel much better than in France, to speak very frankly. So we consider it's something we have to, it's a sort of duty we have to give to India to facilitate this type of film shooting.
Yes, as Frédéric said, we're not specialized in cinema at all. We're just elected people, deputy mayor, former deputy mayor, coming here to say, Indian people, come to us, and you will be welcomed. On the paper I gave you, at the back of the paper, you have the address of Michel Brussol, South of France Film Commission. You can join him, and you can join us. There is the address of the city of Saint-Tropez. So we started telling you that we have a historical relationship with India. Then we said that Saint-Tropez is a place for shooting films. And now we're going to tell you a story that Mr. Henri Prevost-Allard has written in a book, in French. T'en as pas un de livre? T'as pas un livre? A very thick book. Now we would have to change the file, please. Il est en train de dormir. So they're going to find the pictures. Mr. Henri Prevost-Allard has written a book about his ancestor, General Jean-François Allard, who helped building the army of Rajat Singh. It's a fantastic story for a book and for cinema. As I told you, Jean-François Allard went to see Rajat Singh. He formed his army according to some very strong French standards as the Napoleonic armies. He defeated the English many times. As you know, Rajat Singh was one of the latest Maharajas to resist the English, I think. You know that better than us. And General Allard married a princess, an Indian princess.
Yes.
Henry.
I apologize, but my son and my friends say to me, my English is so bad that I have to speak in French. So that I answer him in French and he translates.
Voilà. Dis-nous de Banu Pandai.
Alors, Banu Pandai, c'est la fille du Raja de Chamba, une des filles du Raja de Chamba, qui a été présentée par le Maharaja Ranjit Singh au général Allard parce qu'il voulait s'attacher son général à son royaume par des liens très forts à travers une épouse.
So Maharaja Ranjit Singh was very proud of Allard's work in the army, in his army. So he wanted General Allard, the French general, to stay in India. And he thought, I'm going to give him a spouse. I'm going to marry him so that he will be attached. And he married Banu Pandai from Chambar. They had 5 children. This is Banu Pandai. These paintings are at Mr. Allard's property in Saint-Tropez. They married, had 5 children. In 1935, c'est en 1935 qu'il est revenu à Saint-Tropez. In 1935, 1835, General Allard came back to Saint-Tropez and he settled his wife and 5 children. He went back to India, to Lahore, and he died.
No, before he go back to Lahore with the graduate of Légat de France, that is a special ambassador. It's very because when he goes the first time near the Maharaja Ranjit Singh, he was a fugitive from France. Alors, je veux simplement te dire qu'il est reparti au Pendjab comme envoyé spécial de la France auprès du Maharaja Ranjit Singh, ce que les Anglais n'ont pas apprécié.
He went back so he dropped his wife and 5 children to Saint-Tropez, went back to Lahore with the rank of Légat de France, a sort of an ambassador from France, which the British did not appreciate at all. And unfortunately, Jean-François Allard died. He was buried in Lahore. His wife lived for 40 years after his death in Saint-Tropez, and she was buried in Saint-Tropez. She became a Christian because she said, when I die, I will join my husband in the Christian heaven. This is a wonderful love story. So Allard is buried in Lahore, and his wife, Banu Pandai, is buried in Saint-Tropez. And the people of Saint-Tropez know that very well. And they know that this lady, buried in Saint-Tropez, is a princess from Chambar in India. This is a wonderful story, a moving story, a romantic story, which was made into a book by Henry, which could be made into a film or a series. And that's what we have spoken about with many, many people we met during the 3 days. Frédéric, on a autre chose à dire là maintenant? So that's it. I don't know if you have any questions. We just wanted to say that we are ready to welcome filmmakers. And have we insisted on the fact that next May, on the 28th and 29th of May, we're going to organize a 3-day festival for India. film, dance, music, anything, cooking, anything. Film being a part of it, a big part of it. Just after the Cannes Festival. You know the Cannes Festival, which will be held just before from the 15th to the 25th, and in Saint-Tropez from the 27th to the 29th, 3 days of festival. So we were here also to meet people, to see their movies, try and make contact with them.
And so the idea is again to mix the two cultures and to give, in particular, a platform to Indian production of any kind in the artistic aspect and prominently for the cinema at this occasion. And again, we need Indian people to come to this event because if we're only between French people celebrating Indian culture, it may be difficult. So please come and you are most welcome.
Well, that's all, thank you.
And Baud Danyabad. Is there any question or is it good like that?
The video game,
Oh, you're very kind.
So in 2019, I went to Cannes to attend the festival, and I was told there's this beautiful town or ship ride away. Was that Saint-Tropez? Is it close to Cannes from that
Yes,
coast?
it is close to Cannes. By car,
so is
it
that
is
another?
Yeah.
Probably this was the island people kept talking about.
1 hour and 30 minutes by car,
I think
15 minutes by helicopter. And so it's up to you, the choice you have. Or you can come by boat if you prefer. But it is very close.
We are you are used to receiving, to welcoming teams making films in Saint-Tropez. Really, what we would like is to have Indian people make films at our place.
And so we still have some brochure. If people didn't get those brochures, they are there and available if you want. With great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much for listening to us.